Welcome back, folks. This season has been a special one for the Norfolk Catholic Knights out on the football field. The Knights are undefeated this season, including a 49-0 victory over Ponca that gave head coach Jeff Bellar his 400th career win. For his outstanding achievements over 4 decades, Jeff Bellar has earned this week's Sports Force champion.
When I came here, I was excited to get to coach at this school, and then really wanted to work on just kind of maintaining the program and maybe building it if we could. And I think we've done a good job of that, and hopefully stepped it to even a higher level than where it was at one time.
For Norfolk Catholic head coach Jeff Bellar, it was little steps day by day that would lead to an accomplishment that not many football coaches reach.
Congratulations, Coach Bellar, on win number 400.
Good job, you guys. To be very honest with you, I remember the first game I won. That was in 1982, and it was Beaver Valley High School against Stratton High School, and we won. I do not remember the 100th game, but I do remember the 200th game because we thought we'd win against Boone Central, and we got beat. And then we won the next week against Lakeview, and then we were able to beat Boone Central in the state championship game. Number 300, my son was a senior up at Pierce in the semifinals, so that was a big game, so I remember that well. And then today.
That was Coach Bellar just minutes after defeating Ponca to earn career win 400. But Coach Bellar will always be the first to tell you the success of the Knights is a combination of numerous factors.
We've had a lot of good football players, a lot of good coaches, and great parent support. And I think when you put those things all together, you have a greater chance to be successful.
For Coach Bellar, winning is important, as you could tell by his 400-plus career victories, but it's not the most important thing. He believes that teaching young men to be the best people they can be is what his duty is as the head coach.
I think that's the most important thing we do, that we hope that we are Christian role models. I want our guys to be done, when they are done someday, to come back and say, hey, it was a good experience. I learned a lot about life lessons, about hard work, and sometimes some disappointments, sometimes some, good things happen, and really similar to life, that we'll all have some highs and lows, but typically with the Lord involved, we can lean on Him.
Bellar has had a hand in 10 of the Knights' state record 11 championships. Mike Bivens, the former Knight head coach from 1977 to 1984, could see the road to success for Bellar during his early years at Norfolk Catholic.
But I could see the seeds of greatness even then, his love for the game, for the kids, for the sport itself.
Even some of his current players have grown as young men under the leadership of Coach Bellar.
I've learned a lot over the years. I've grown in especially confidence on the field, and I think I can owe a lot of that to Bellar. He's always been really supportive.
He pushes you. If you make a mistake, he'll yell at you, but it's because he loves you and he wants you to get better.
Coach Bellar's love for the sport of football is still going strong, and he feels like he still has plenty left in the tank.
Yeah, I don't think so yet, but I don't know when that time will occur. I still enjoy coaching, still enjoy going to work, trying to tweak this or tweak that to make our team better.
404 wins, and Coach Bellar is not done yet. In Norfolk, Nebraska, Irvin Doman, KTIV Sports Force.